good, good people? Let's get some things addressed here. The President of the United States did not come to the Chicago. He did not sit down with the chief of police, the governors, the mayors, nobody to discuss what's going on in Chicago to try to help. I have to say that because there's so much misinformation and disinformation that has been going on. And you have conservatives who live in upper class society keep trying to advocate what Trump should do in areas of low housing income people. It's just really bizarre to me because you don't care. It doesn't normally affect you where you live because you don't have to deal with it. Now, supposedly, he was supposed to be coming to eliminate or get rid of what was it they said he was supposed to be doing? Immigration. Now, violent people that were illegally in this country, okay. But if you want to take out illegals that are coming to this country, and you're saying we want them out, go back to your country because we don't want violent illegals here, then by all means. I mean, I don't think anyone opposed Donald Trump getting rid of violent immigrants that were here illegally. And that has never been not applauded or saying that they have a problem with that. I mean, if somebody do, then they have their own agenda surrounding it. But when someone is violent and have tendencies of being a violent group of people, then you start to see there's a whole different um, surrounding around it. But now it's like, oh, they're coming to clean out old block. They're not going to send the National Guards to do that because that would not go well for the National Guard. They're not trained for that type of action because there'll be a lot of casualties. And I'm quite sure the National Guard did not sign up for that. And neither did the United States military. That would look real bad on them to go in there and just start bulldozing everyone and treating everyone like they're cattle on American soil. To even think about it is insane. Now, the people in the cities who have been doing the work, the communities coming together, the No Kid Die in the Shy Foundation, um, working with the police so they can have better relationships with the citizens in the towns, in the neighborhoods. So that would cut down on a lot of violence that's happened between the two and the disconnect. You've seen 12 days plus of no shootings in the city of Chicago. You've seen crime down 37%. Violent, like all of these things are down 37%. So things have been on the scales of getting better. Why are you sending over a National Guard? It seems to be targeting only blue states when red states have problems way worse. We're not seeing any participation from our president of the United States of America, who supposedly cares so much about the people, but yet he's done nothing. So I want the conservative right wing supporters, since they care so much about the city of Chicago, um, since you care so much about the violence in the city, okay, well, get involved. You care so much about the city and the violence needs to stop and all of these things. And you think, well, actually go out and support the foundations that are out there trying to do better in Chicago. You see the people out there trying to rally the community, right? Get people together, stop the gang violence, introducing people. This is not your op. He just lives on the other block. They're trying to get these people to get out of this cycle of death that all of them are in. They're either going to jail or dying. And the police are speaking to the kids more. They're coming up with more recreational centers. And they're doing what they can while the government seems to be cutting their jobs. No resources. So instead of, you know, going to play golf all the time, why don't you try to get involved? Victim mentality. What is a victim mentality? I don't understand that. The President of the United States of America sat there and basically targeted Chicago and Washington, D.C., right? Two blue states that are not the capital of anything when it comes to crime. So it's obvious he's targeting them because they're blue. He didn't go to Mississippi. He didn't go to Memphis. Hell, Indianapolis has even gotten bad. My buddy got shot at in Indianapolis just cuz. My cousin was murdered in Indianapolis. So, and the whole mayor all the way down, like Indianapolis has turned into some place you would never even imagine. I'm just saying, for these right wing conservative people who go on TV and talk about how bad something is that they don't even care about. It's like, you don't care if it's bad over there. What do you care if it's bad in the inner city that you never go in? But you want to use it to exploit it for your case of to go against the party, but you don't care about it. That's where the hypocrisy comes in at. That's the only part I can't stand. And it gets on my nerves. It's like, look, the inner city is not in here talking about what y'all are doing over here in your little rich towns. Okay, your little high-end stores and your high-end towns, they're not complaining about what you do or how you live, right? They're worried about their community, what resources they have, the resources you take for granted. Y'all have all these nurturing things around you to enrich your communities, to keep them in the position that they are, and you don't even take advantage of them. Y'all have STEM programs, school in about 3 different locations. You have a skateboard park, basketball parks. You have all of these tools for kids and just people in general. How am I lying to myself? The president just did nothing but make cuts. He made cuts to the pension fund, to the police department. So he's basically defunding them. He didn't do that. So that the Chicago police and the No Kids Die in the Shy and the Nate Jones Foundation, and there's other foundations that are coming together and they're actually helping the communities. they're actually speaking to these kids, making sure most of these kids turn in their guns, turn in a lot of these situations that's been going in, and a lot of them have gotten out of crime. A lot of them have things to do now. They decided not to join the gangs. But it's people from other states, other towns who know nothing about what's going on, that they have people on the ground because they grew up in those neighborhoods trying to keep everyone sane from harming each other. And with the progress being shown, and all of the reports are showing that progress is being made, the President of the United States of America, instead of saying, okay, well, what do I need to help to keep that going? Because you guys are making progress. He wants to elevate and escalate something that could lead to more violence. That is not something the commander in chief is supposed to do, and it doesn't make any sense. So if you right wing people would explain it to me, we would love to know. Why does it make sense to you? You don't even know you are using solely your experience. Where are your sources of what? Of tea something of okay, of substance. I can't really see what you're saying. What is my you said what is my experience? What are you saying? No, there's no one standing behind me. Not at all. To make a omelet, you need to break a few eggs. Yes, if you're making an omelet, that is correct. Somebody said I'm not right wing. Okay, well, whatever wing you are, what are you trying to say? Are you talking to somebody in the chat? Well, maybe you see ghosts. Now, what I'm saying is this: if if it's not making sense, that you would try to. That's like someone's having progress doing something, and you say, "Man, I want to help. Let me mess up everything that you're doing and start all over just to get it done a lot faster." You're like, what? Well, let me simplify it for you. That's like if you're building some Legos up, right? And you're about to finish with the Legos, or you're having progress building a big Lego tower, and they come over and see it and go, I still don't think this is right. It's like, look, it's building, it's working, it's coming together now. I don't think this is right. I know where to help. Let's knock this all down and start all over. Mm. So I just want y'all to explain it to me. Where does it make sense for the National Guards to be deployed in the United States of America, basically Chicago? That's like to do what? You want to get out illegal immigrants that are violent, no problem. But if you're there to escalate problems, then how is that going to help community? I don't understand it. If Shaq and LeBron James had a baby, you know what that baby would be? Rich. Very rich baby. Just for hair run? No, my gosh. You guys got problems. You should lay off the drugs. Hair run is not the way to go. Well, a lot of things that you consider or say good isn't good for you. Gosh, you guys trolling sucks. They don't even know how to troll anymore. The trolling then got lame. It's like we don't even know what to say. He makes too much sense. You need more Rick James stories? You got to join the Patreon, buddy. Mm-hmm. Woo, boy, yeah, I broke the mold today with the Patreon. And I told y'all, Cino be working. Everybody else sleep, I'm working. When they work, when they go back to work, I'm woke. No, we didn't have plastic covers. My aunties did. Like, if anybody was in that living room had plastic seat covers on them. And that was like down in the basement. State of Illinois, baby. Illinois. Nah, not most. It's just literally different. You ever hear the things or the words they say? The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's kind of how this is. The more things change, the more they stay the same. When you see a regime that's pretty much blowing hot air and it look like they're doing something, but they're really doing nothing, you're like, y'all not doing anything. It's just a lot of noise. And that's what you're getting from this administration. But you swear to, I swear to y'all, the weirdest part in the whole scenario is that the people who are doing all of this talking, right? All of these people who keep on talking and doing this craziness, they're the main ones, these conservatives, they're the main ones that if this was a Democrat doing this, they would have bust a blood vessel. They'd have had an aneurysm with the complaints about what they like and what they don't like. That's why I keep saying it's so hypocritical. I'd be like, y'all know if this was a Democrat doing this, y'all be flipping out. Y'all would be flipping out, but y'all sitting here praising this guy and what he's doing because he's a Republican and he's not even really a Republican. There's never been anything Republican about Trump. Ever. I just think he's a bad commander-in-chief. He's not showing strength. None of the things that they said they were going to do is being done. The tariffs haven't paid off. Food still high, gas still high, war still going on with Russia and Ukraine. No progress has been made there. He's done nothing. What about the education? What about the jobs? All the things that y'all held Joe Biden responsible for. What has happened there? Why hasn't there been any change? These are the questions that we're asking as people. Is how easily that people are fooled. Well, that depends on you. You could either relax, chill, or not. That is up to you. Now, I take it a little differently because we know people who are hands-on. We've been doing charity work our whole lives. We've seen the communities come together and do the things that they're supposed to do. Live. We've seen it all. And what they got in retribution was very disrespectful to the system, society. It was very disrespectful to all of the people who have spent their years trying to do what's best for this country. And it's like, why don't the government meet them halfway? They're not even meeting them a quarter of the way. So at least the Democrats or the left, as y'all like to call them, actually listen to them because the majority of them come from where they come from. So they identify with them. Meanwhile, the other people who don't come from where they come from don't try to listen, don't try to relate to them, only wants to talk to them when it's election time. I'm not going to say it's all of them, because there's some Republicans that actually do their jobs and they actually try to govern their people. There are actually a few. But Donald Trump isn't one of them, unfortunately. He's someone who's pretty much bunkered down by the people that controls him. And he'll make a deal with anybody. Forget tradition. Forget what's been done before. We need to move on. We need to be cool with North Korea. We need to be cool with all these people if they got money. They got money, they're okay. They don't have money, well, then we need to talk. So as long as that has been the driving factor, you're going to constantly see people going in different directions, being pulled in opposite directions. So the system is not for us. Exactly. The system was never designed for us. The system has never been designed to work for anybody that isn't in the system. That's why you have to reinvent your own circle within the system of community and governing yourself. It has to start from the community first. Then you go outwards. People start focusing on the President of the United States and everything else right off the bat. It's like, look at your neighborhood. Why is your street not paved? Or why are they not doing these things? And believe me, if they have a pothole out here, that thing will be fixed before the weekend. I guarantee you that. But if you was in the hood, oh, they wouldn't even look into it. No way, no how. You got to bring that up at a hearing meeting or something. They not thinking about that. That is not on their radar. They're not concerned. I am not a Democrat, sir. I'm an independent. The Democrats have things that are wrong with them also. A lot of them, some of them, they're in it to try to get money and fame, and they care about the show rather than actually doing something. But then you have some that are out there doing the work. They actually just don't show up for campaign time. They're in their communities actually governing and doing what they're supposed to do. Being an example. I used to like the ideals of the former Speaker of the House, who was Republican. Now, had he ran for president, he would have had my vote. But he just got out of politics altogether and just shut down. He actually was chosen to be vice president and ran against Obama and was the only person that made sense in that whole campaign. His only problem is that Mitt Romney was running for president instead of him. Mitt Romney should have been the backup, and they should have. But they was like, shoot, if we'd have known this guy had this much impact. Uh, what's wrong about anything that I'm saying? Yes, he's readying for martial law. Basically, just trying to fill it out in case there is a need or a call for a martial law. But if a martial law is called by the sitting president, that's going to be very hard for a sitting president to call a martial law because people don't like to be patrolled or told where they need to go. But I guarantee you, there's martial law won't be everywhere, just be in the states that are pretty much blue and not red, which really isn't going to help them. No, they're not going to help them in pretty much any way, shape, or form. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to see the biggest collapse in the history of mankind. The people that's supposed to have your back and fund all these projects and put all of these performance packs together, as they're right now about to shut the government down or continue to have it shut down due to the fact they cannot come out to an agreement on when the Republican run the Senate. They can't even come up with simple agreements on what's going on with health care. The same thing that he said was a problem, but has no solution for. So if Mr. Trump, our president-elect, don't have a solution, then tell us what is or seems to be the problem. The world would love to know. Where did all that money go from them programs? Remember he made all those cuts? Cut air controllers. We don't need that many air controllers. We don't need this. We don't need that. Where did the money go? That's crazy because y'all care about the troops And Hamas is the enemy, but yet Hamas is the enemy, right? That's what I heard a lot about Hamas, right? Hamas is an enemy. The enemy is Hamas. So if that's the case, and Hamas is so very bad, and everywhere else is so very good, and Hamas is bad, right? Why did our president do a deal with Qatar, who funds Hamas? And the deal is for like almost, what is it, 100 planes that are being done by or financed by Qatar? That seems to line the pockets of Trump's sons? Ugh, that doesn't seem like that's very presidential. That sounds like that's very much something that's in line or better for Trump, not America. I'm just saying, make it make sense. I'm just an average American who pays his taxes and is very confused with the direction. All right. So I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, I'm sitting here chilling in my big bed. Gonna read a book until I go to sleep, relax. You know, reading helps the brain. So that's what I think I'll do. Where's my book? Oh, the damn housekeeper. Oh, housekeeper like moving my things around, but I don't like them moved. I had my book right where I wanted it. Right where I wanted it. Now, got my book. Kevin O'Leary, Men, Women, and Money. Been reading this book for a while now. It's very interesting because I seem to agree a lot with this. So now, I'll go back to my reading. Reading the upside down, bro. It's not upside down, bro. It's upside down to you. All right. Deuces.